Welcome to Time 414. In our last video, we talked about helping your teens learn to make good decisions. This I'm kind of considering like a part 2 on that. But we're going to keep going with that, dig a little bit deeper, and actually like creating the environment. Last time we talked about the skills to make a good decision. Now we're going to talk about the way to make an environment or to set up, more in-depth situations than besides just the skills needed to make those good decisions. And when they're teenagers, we have this great opportunity to let them do some of this in a safe space. I used to think of it as like my arms are here, right? And my kids are in here. And when they're little, they're closer to me. And if they fall, I can catch them easier. But they're still in here, right? As they get older, they move out here. And I give them more opportunity to fail because they need to learn. I mean, that's a big part of how you learn. How do you learn to walk? How do you learn to stand up? You fall down a lot, right? And a lot of times somebody's there to catch you and pick you back up. Sometimes you do it yourself. So as long as they're in here, I can help them. Even, no matter where they're, even if they're right at the edge, they're, almost into adulthood and they're way out here, I can still help them. At some point, they're going to get outside of this circle that I can create and hold for them, and I won't be able to help them anymore. So as long as they're in here, I can help them. So they get a chance to make mistakes. I want them to make mistakes while I can still help them because they're going to make mistakes in life. So it's important to see how to fix them, how to know the world doesn't always turn all against you. At least my corner of the world will never turn all the way against you when you make a bad mistake. That's important too, because we all fail. So learning how to deal with that part of a bad decision is super important. So not yelling at them. I mean, sometimes, okay, yes, I'm human. I have yelled at my children. Shocking. Not really. I've lost my temper with them. There's been times I've told them, you need to step away. You need to go up to your room. I'm going to step away over here because I need to calm down before we can talk. And that is fair. That is setting a boundary. That is giving myself time to calm down, because if I just react and yell at them, they already feel bad. Even if they come to me and they're acting cocky or whatever, or like they know they're going to be in trouble, so they get this, whatever, they still feel bad. Somewhere, something inside of them feels bad. They know it was wrong. They're not stupid. They're teenagers. They're not like 2 years old where maybe they didn't realize that walking out into the street after a ball was wrong. They know these things. They don't always need to hear it from us. And if they're disappointed in themselves, they really don't need to know if we feel disappointed. And it's important when you do feel that, if you feel the need to say it, I'm disappointed in your actions, not in them as a person, because they need hope. They don't just need everybody to be against them. They need hope that they can make this better, that there will be chances to make this better, that this particular situation, they can at least apologize. They can start something. Even if they can't correct it, they can do something in the steps to make it better. And they need hope that somebody believes they can do better in the future. Because sometimes when you're out of your own hope, which happens a lot as a teenager in a world you're learning about and everything's changing and you're changing, and sometimes you need somebody else's hope that things will get better, that you can do good, because you run out of it so quick as a teenager. And that's an important role that parents have that we forget about sometimes because we feel so responsible for how they appear to the world, and so and so saw this and this hurt whoever and they got kicked off the team and everybody knows. Who cares? 5 years from now, nobody will care. Even, if you're in a small town like I am and somebody remembers and people still talk about it in 5 years, those are not the people I need to be around or that I need my kid around. Honestly, if you can't let go of something from 5 years ago that didn't matter, it doesn't matter 5 years from now. So let it go. Our image, how other people think we're raising our kids, is not near as important as how our kids think we're raising them. How we know that we're raising them. If we're only concerned about our image and how other people see this, we're not making the right decisions. So how can you teach your teenager to make a right decision if you're not? I once, it was during COVID, so we were already online, and some students were going back into school. And one of my kids was very much struggling with the online. I mean, it's not for everybody, and I totally get that. And if it was just that he was struggling, I would have sent him right back in. This is not political about COVID or not. I'm talking specifically about educational choices. What I saw was that although this was difficult for him, he stopped trying right away. And I didn't like that. And so we had talks like, yes, this is difficult, but I need to see effort. Like, you're just giving up because it's not naturally your thing. And it doesn't have to be your thing, but you do have to try. So the other students were going back in. My student, my child, was still very much struggling, and I kept them home. He was getting in trouble, his grades and stuff were below, or he had missing assignments, so he couldn't participate in whatever sport was going on then. So I was getting calls and emails from the coach, the teachers, the principal. We believe coming back in person is the best thing for him. It's like, yes, it absolutely would be for his grades, not for his character. Because giving up because something is hard is a much bigger lesson to learn that that's wrong than it is to pass algebra or whatever. There'll be a chance, again, if he fails algebra, to pass it. But this was a huge opportunity to see that you keep going when things are tough. And you don't even have to stay all the time when something is not right for you. And we had that discussion. Because sometimes things just aren't right for you, and it's good to realize that and when to leave. But you have to try first, and he was missing the try. And I had everybody against me, and I really don't care what people were saying. And he missed part of a season in a sport he was very, very good at. But you know what? At the end of that, he learned a valuable lesson. And he learned to make the right decision. And he saw the people that were contacting me. Some of them told him, I'll talk to your mom. And he was like, yeah, good luck. So I'm a little stubborn. If we want our teenagers to make the right decision, we need to be making the right decision too. Because they're going to see it, and then we're going to teach them how to build the skills to do it. At the end, you're going to have an adult who's out there making great decisions, doing great things, feeling confident, and knowing that they're loved and empowered and somebody believes in them. It's going to be great. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's going to feel like war with yourself, with your teen, but stay on track. Give yourself grace when you mess up. Give them grace when they mess up, because it is so worth it. You put in the time now, and they have a lifetime of being able to make better decisions than a lot of others.